In the heart of a bustling African village, surrounded by dense forests and rolling hills, there lived a man named Oba. Unlike the village hunters or elders, Oba was not known for strength or wisdom. Instead, he was infamous for something much stranger: the terrible odor that came from his mouth. Villagers whispered about him as he walked by, children ran to hide, and even animals seemed to sense it, turning away in disgust. Despite this unusual problem, Oba was kind and helpful. He carried heavy loads for the elderly, guided lost travelers through the thick forests, and shared his modest meals with the poor. Yet, no matter his good deeds, his odor kept him socially distant. One bright afternoon, the village square erupted into chaos. Two brothers, Kofi and Aid, argued loudly over a piece of land their father had left behind. Shouts filled the air, fists were clenched, and the crowd grew tense, unsure who might strike first. The villagers watched in fear, holding their breath as tempers flared. Oba happened to pass by that very moment, carrying a basket of fresh fruits from the market. Seeing the confrontation, he called out loudly, "Stop this fight at once!" But as his voice carried across the square, so did his notorious mouth odor. A sharp, unforgettable stench filled the air. The villagers recoiled in horror, covering their noses and stepping back. Kofi froze, mid-punch. Aid staggered backwards, and the once shouting crowd suddenly went silent. The anger that had burned so fiercely moments ago vanished as quickly as it had appeared. Blushing slightly, Oba stepped forward and said calmly, "Friends, anger is a dangerous fire. If we do not control it, it will destroy everything around us. Sit, talk, and find understanding." The brothers, still caught between confusion and relief, slowly approached a nearby stone bench. As they spoke quietly, they remembered their father's wish that they share the land, not fight over it. Oba smiled softly, realizing that his unusual gift had once again served the village. From that day onward, Oba's mouth odor became both a source of laughter and respect. Villagers learned to joke, "If you need peace, call Oba." He had found a way to use what others saw as a curse for a greater good, teaching everyone that even the strangest flaws can have a hidden strength. In a dense forest far from the village, animals lived together, but not always in harmony. Among them was a lion named Jabari, known for his strength but also for his insatiable greed. He claimed he was the king of the forest, and that every creature owed him food, shelter, and respect. Every day, smaller animals would tremble as Jabari demanded more than his share. Among these creatures was a tortoise named Tay. Unlike the other animals, Tay was not fast, strong, or fierce, but he was clever, thoughtful, and always observing the world around him. He grew tired of Jabari's constant demands and devised a plan to teach the lion a lesson without fighting. One morning, Tay visited Jabari, carrying a small basket of fruits and nuts. "Great Jabari," Tay said politely, "I have brought a gift from the forest for your royal feast, but I need your trust. Close your eyes while I prepare the offering." Jabari, proud and curious, obeyed, his tail swishing with anticipation as Jabari closed his eyes. Tay carefully arranged the fruits and nuts in a hollow tree trunk, but hidden inside were slippery leaves coated in sap, known in the forest to cause a strong tickling sensation. When Jabari finally opened his eyes and reached for the feast, he immediately slipped and slid on the sticky leaves. tumbling head over paws into the soft mud below. The forest echoed with the lion's surprised roars, and the smaller animals gathered, laughing quietly behind the trees. Tay, standing nearby, called out, "Even kings must respect those who live among them. Greed leads to trouble, no matter how strong you are." Jabari, humiliated but unharmed, realized the truth in Tay's words. He rose slowly, mud dripping from his mane, and nodded. From that day on, he shared his meals and ruled not by fear but by fairness. Tay became a hero among the smaller animals, showing that intelligence and cleverness could overcome brute strength. The lesson spread quickly throughout the forest. Sometimes, brains are stronger than brawn. The tortoise's clever plan reminded everyone that pride and greed often lead to unexpected consequences, while wisdom and patience bring lasting respect. Long ago, in a village surrounded by dense forests and flowing rivers, there lived a young hunter named Kenna. Unlike other hunters, Kenna had a magical gift. He could understand and speak to birds. This gift had been passed down in his family for generations, but many villagers did not believe in its power. Kenna spent his days in the forest, hunting for food, listening to the whispers of the trees, and speaking with the birds. They told him secrets about the forest, which paths were safe, where the rivers were deep, and where the best fruits could be found. Kenna used this knowledge to help his village, bringing back fresh food and warning them of dangers before they arrived. One season, the village faced a great problem. A giant crocodile had entered the river that supplied water and fish to the villagers. Every day, people tried to catch or scare it away, but the crocodile was clever, fast, and fierce. Fear spread through the village, and the elders were at a loss. Kenna stepped forward and said, "Let me talk to the birds. They know the secrets of the river." The villagers were skeptical, but allowed him to go. Kenna spent the day sitting quietly by the river, listening. Soon, a flock of bright red and yellow birds swooped down and began chattering to him. They told him the crocodile liked to rest near a specific bend in the river, where the water was calm and the reeds were thick. They also told him the crocodile's favorite fish was the shiny silver ones that gathered there at dawn. With this information, Kenna crafted a plan. The next morning, he prepared a trap with strong nets and bait made from the silver fish. Following the bird's guidance, he placed the trap near the calm bend of the river. As the sun rose, the crocodile came exactly where the birds had said. It lunged for the bait and became caught in the net. The villagers celebrated Kenna's success, amazed at how his gift had saved their food supply and protected their lives. From that day, they no longer doubted the magic of speaking to birds. Kenna continued to use his gift, not for personal gain, but to help the village thrive in harmony with nature. In a small coastal village, where the waves crashed against rocky cliffs and fishing boats dotted the shore, there lived a young girl named Amara. Amara was no ordinary girl. She had a unique gift. She could communicate with the wind and the clouds. Many villagers admired her, but some were skeptical of her abilities, thinking it was just child's play. One year, during the fishing season, dark clouds began to gather over the village. Fishermen noticed the sky turning a deep gray, and the elders predicted a violent storm that could destroy the boats and homes. Panic spread quickly. As the village had faced many storms before, and often lost everything to the raging sea, Amara stepped forward and said, "I can calm the storm if we work together." The villagers were hesitant, but desperation made them listen. She climbed the highest cliff, where the wind howled strongest, and stretched her arms toward the sky. Whispering softly, she called to the clouds and wind, asking them to delay their fury and allow the fishermen to secure their boats. The villagers watched in awe as the dark clouds seemed to pause, swirling slowly rather than rushing toward the village. Amara spoke calmly, promising the storm that if it respected the village, the people would honor and protect the land and sea. Slowly, the wind lessened, and the waves became gentler. By nightfall, the storm had passed, leaving the village safe and unharmed. The villagers were amazed. They realized that Amara's gift was not only real, but also powerful. She had saved their homes, boats, and lives without needing weapons or force, only understanding, patience, and courage. From that day onward, the villagers treated the weather and sea with respect, knowing that nature could be guided by those who listened carefully. Amara's story spread across nearby villages, inspiring children and adults alike to value harmony over fear. The girl who tamed the storm became a symbol of courage, wisdom, and respect for the natural world. In a lively village surrounded by dense jungle, music was the heartbeat of daily life. Drums of all sizes were played at celebrations, ceremonies, and even during work. Among the villagers lived a mischievous monkey named Jabu, known for his clever tricks and endless curiosity. One day, the villagers received a special gift, a magical talking drum. This drum could speak words of wisdom, warn of danger, or deliver important messages. The village elders placed the drum in the center of the square, telling everyone to respect it, for it was a gift from the spirits of the forest. Jabu, however, was curious. He crept silently into the square at night, eyes wide with mischief. "What does this drum do?" he wondered aloud. As he tapped it lightly, the drum suddenly spoke in a deep, wise voice. "Curiosity is powerful, but carelessness leads to trouble." Startled, Jabu jumped back, but his curiosity overcame fear. He began to play it harder, laughing at the strange sounds and rhythms that echoed across the village. The drum spoke again, louder this time. "Respect brings harmony. Foolishness brings chaos." But Jabu ignored the warning, tapping faster and swinging from nearby trees. The vibrations from the drum grew so strong that they startled the villagers. Pots fell, fires flickered, and the village dogs barked wildly. Jabu's playful tricks had turned into a chaotic scene the next morning. The elders found the monkey exhausted and apologetic beside the drum. "I didn't know it could cause so much trouble," Jabu admitted. The drum spoke gently. "Even the cleverest creature must act with wisdom. Mischief has limits, and actions affect others." From that day onward, Jabu became the drum's protector rather than its mischievous tormentor. He learned that curiosity was valuable, but only when paired with respect and responsibility. The villagers celebrated the monkey's cleverness, tempered with wisdom, and the talking drum continued to guide the village, reminding everyone that intelligence without caution could bring chaos. In a quiet village, surrounded by endless savannas, there stood an enormous baobab tree. Its trunk was wide enough to shelter a dozen people, and its branches stretched high into the sky. But this was no ordinary tree. It was said that the baobab could hear secrets and, when asked, offer guidance to those who respected it. Many villagers visited the tree to share their worries, hopes, or fears. One day, a young boy named Kofi approached, holding a small pouch of seeds. He had heard that the baobab could reveal the truth about lost things. "Great tree," Kofi whispered, "I have lost my family's most precious necklace. Can you help me find it?" The tree's leaves rustled gently, as if it were thinking. Then a deep, soothing voice emerged from the trunk. "The necklace is not lost by chance. It waits where the heart is patient and the hands are steady." Kofi pondered the words carefully. He searched through his home, retraced his steps to the fields, and finally arrived at the riverbank where he had played the previous day. There, under a patch of soft earth, he found the necklace glinting in the sunlight. Overjoyed, he ran back to the baobab to offer thanks. News of the tree's wisdom spread quickly. Villagers began to understand that the baobab's power was not magic alone. It required patience, careful observation, and respect for nature. Those who rushed or acted selfishly found nothing, while those who approached with humility often discovered solutions to their problems. One day, a quarrel arose between two neighbors over a boundary line. They argued angrily, unable to see eye to eye. Remembering the baobab's guidance, they visited the tree together. The baobab spoke, "Listen to each other, and the earth will show the path. Respect brings clarity. Haste brings confusion." Following the tree's wisdom, the neighbors examined the land carefully, listened to each other's concerns, and found a fair solution. The quarrel ended peacefully, and the village learned an important lesson. The baobab's guidance worked best when combined with patience, respect, and thoughtful action. From that day forward, the baobab tree was honored not only for its ability to hear secrets, but also for teaching the villagers the value of humility, observation, and careful decision-making. It stood as a living reminder that true wisdom comes to those who listen to others, to nature, and to themselves.